Welcome back to Home Gym Hacks and Reviews. Today I'll be reviewing the Fettle Fitness plate-loaded ISO row. Stay tuned. This is my first major purchase since selling more than half of my home gym equipment, and you may be wondering, why would you get another back machine if you already have the Fettle Fitness pull down, the Nautilus 2ST Super Pullover, and the Nautilus Torso Arm? Well, all of those are vertical pulling exercises, while this is a horizontal pulling exercise. Prior to getting this machine, I had to do some setup in order to perform rows. On the PowerTech Lever Gym, I had to remove plates from the storage posts, lower the arms against the frame, and get the bench adjusted correctly. On the PowerTech Streamline Functional Trainer, I had to attach the functional trainer bar and Angles 90 grips, brace the bench, and weigh down the back end of the bench so it wouldn't raise up on me during rows. And for the IM2000, I had to set up all of the cables, add spacers between the bench and the base of the machine, and set up the bench in the proper position. All of these options are good, and I had a lot of success performing those exercises over the years. However, at some point, it's really nice to streamline everything and simply load plates on the machine and go. It's also really nice to have a machine that's designed specifically for a given exercise. Also, because I am so cautious with my lower back, I don't do any rows that aren't chest supported, including barbell, dumbbell, and even seated cable rows. Before I started this channel, I had the Valor Fitness seated row, which I painted black with bedliner paint, and it's a fine entry-level option. However, the 1-inch plate posts and Olympic sleeve adapters were incredibly frustrating because the Olympic sleeve adapters were always sliding off, and I think it's time companies make the 1-inch plate posts an add-on option and 2-inch posts the standard. Also, the Valor Fitness is not tall enough to stand up and use, and the machine doesn't have foot plates, both of which limits its functionality. Body Solid and Titan Fitness have similar entry-level rows, however both machines have the same limitations as the Valor Fitness model I had. As I've said before, the Fettle machines are nearly identical and hammer strength quality without the hammer strength prices, and even if hammer strength is made a little bit better, the Fettle machines in my garage gym will outlast me. Back when I was training in commercial gyms, there were 2 hammer strength machines that I always looked forward to using on back day, and those were the supinated pull down and the seated ISO row. When I compare the hammer strength row to this machine, the hammer strength cost almost $4,000 when shipped, and there is a 16 to 18 week lead time in order to get the machine, whereas this machine cost $1,845 and about $315 in shipping. This was shipped within 2 weeks from the date that I placed the order, and when the freight company got it, I got it within 5 business days. So with Fettle, I can get this machine nearly 3 months sooner and at half the price, or I can get 2 Fettle machines for the price of 1 hammer strength. Now before someone says, but hammer strength is better, and they may be, I can tell you that Fettle has a slightly better warranty. Both companies offer 10 years on the frame, 5 years on the bearings, but hammer strength only offers 90 days on the upholstery, whereas Fettle offers 1 year on upholstery. Similarly, some say just buy used hammer strength. However, if I buy a used hammer strength machine from a place like Fitness Equipment Empire, it's about the same price, however it won't come with a warranty like this one will. On the 5th business day after the row shipped, a tractor trailer arrived at my house with the ISO row. I requested a box truck to deliver the machine so my wife and I didn't get stuck unloading a machine like we did with the Fettle chest press. However, a tractor trailer we got. I wasn't home for this delivery, so my wife was in charge and she handled her business. My wife talked to the driver and explained the situation, and the driver amazingly backed a tractor trailer into my driveway. I've had people driving box trucks have trouble backing in, but this driver was exceptional. The level of skill and talent this took was phenomenal, but please don't expect this from drivers. This driver was 1 in 10,000. The pallet was huge. In fact, it was 2 pallets drilled together. The machine barely fit on the liftgate, but again, this driver made it work and even pushed the 400-pound pallet across the gravel to the front of my garage. From now on, even if I am home, I think I'm going to send my wife out to talk to the drivers because I think customer service might be a little bit better when you're a tall blonde compared to being an old, bearded, hat-wearing man. And I did tip the driver $20 and he accepted it reluctantly. I was pleasantly surprised when I pulled into my driveway and saw the machine at the garage door. It was another exceptional packing job by Fettle Fitness, and notice how the machine is almost as big as my 2-car garage door. After removing the shrink wrap, I saw the row was inside of a wall double pallet. Each arm and seat were nicely wrapped in bubble wrap. Removing the wrap from one arm left a mound of plastic, And then when all of the plastic was finally removed, which took over 10 minutes, I had a small hill. While I love my selectorized machines and they are more convenient, I think I preferred plate-loaded machines because they are less expensive and exponentially easier to move. I was able to move the machine into my garage by using daisy chains to lift the row and place scooters under the frame. Once the scooters were in place, I was able to easily roll the machine into the garage, and once it found its home, I again used the daisy chains to lift the machine so I could slide the scooters out. If this was one of the Cybex selectorized rows, I would not have been able to move it into the garage by myself, and probably not even with the help of my wife, and I am trying to give my wife a break from moving all this heavy equipment. Once I got a good look at the machine, I was extremely impressed, but also a little surprised by how much space it takes up. Obviously, this machine would not have fit into my gym without selling some equipment. The machine is about 4 feet by 5 feet by 4 feet. Each stainless steel weight horn has about 10 inches of loadable space and a rubber stopper so the plates don't rest on metal. The foot plates are a nice feature. There are 2 different oversized handles which allow for a variety of grips, and 4 non-skid rubber feet are included. The contoured seat is a nice and comfortable feature. Both pads are dense enough to be durable, but not so hard they're uncomfortable. The welds are clean, and there are robust stoppers between the arms and frame. The 2 independent arms diverge and converge during the row. This machine is not a bunch of pieces bolted together. Rather, most of the frame is welded, and it's made with 8 to 11 gauge steel, whereas Hammer Strength only lists 11 gauge steel for their products. To work the upper back, I can use an overhand grip to target the rhomboids, rear delts, and traps. And to work the lats, I use a neutral grip. Also, when you see most people use this machine, they are standing and using one arm at a time to work the lats lumbar fibers. And if you want to do a mechanical drop set like Paul Carter, you can drop down to one knee for more shoulder flexion to hit the iliac fibers. While Fettle doesn't list the specs for this machine, it's likely very similar to Hammer Strength's, with a max user weight of 350 pounds and a max loadable weight of 5 45s per arm. Also, each arm starts at about 15 pounds. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I can't tell the difference between this and Hammer Strength. It feels super smooth and super effective. Normally, and oddly enough, I really like assembling equipment because it better lets me understand how the machine works. However, I must admit I really enjoy when this Fettle equipment arrives fully assembled because I can start using it right away. I am very happy with this machine and I love the Fettle brand, and you may be wondering if there are any issues with this machine. And the only thing is one of the grips is twisting on me a little. It's not too noticeable, but it is worth asking for a replacement, and Fettle will send me one. And this is where it's advantageous to buy new, because if I bought a used Hammer Strength from a place like Fitness Equipment Empire, this would be my issue to deal with, but this is going to be something that Fettle takes care of for me. I have a 4th Fettle machine on the way, so please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can see which machine it is. I will give you a hint. I have mentioned it in quite a few of my Fettle videos. I also have a review coming for one of the greatest ab machines ever made, but with a hitch. Please check out my affiliate links in the description of this video. If any of my videos or reviews have helped you, please consider using one of those affiliate links. They can save you some money. You can find me on Instagram at Home Gym Hacks and Reviews. And remember, if your equipment lacks, I got the hacks. Take care, everyone.